Well, here's something that every pet owner loses sleep over. Is your pet non-binary? How would you even know? If you get their pronouns wrong, do you get dragged in front of some animal rights tribunal? Who has jurisdiction over this? Does PETA pass judgment in a literal kangaroo court? Well, I guess these are important questions for our brave new world. Apparently, from Campus Watch, they're saying that the University of Guelph says to use they-them pronouns for animals. A sexual orientation and gender identity style guide from the University of Guelph says that they-them pronouns should be used when referring to animals because animals reportedly don't have a gender. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think a silverback gorilla might disagree, but I guess we'll have to take crazy people's word for it. Well, here's the style guide. It says, a note about animals. Animals have sex, not gender. You know, through all of human history until like yesterday, sex and gender were the same thing. But I guess now we've redefined the word gender to mean some magical quality, like almost like a soul, say. And I guess animals wouldn't have a soul or a gender. You know, come to think of it, all this wokeness started to feel kind of like a religion, huh? But anyway, let's continue. Use the pronouns they, them, their to refer to an animal. She or he, her, him, his is appropriate if used in a quote, if used in the kind of story where it seems appropriate to humanize the animal or where sex is known. The queen bee left her hive. The stag charged at his rival. Well, that doesn't seem so different from the human male doesn't have a vagina. So I don't know. This all just feels very retarded to me. Let's take a closer look at this style guide here. Gender neutral and gender inclusive language. Binary language implies only two sexes and or genders. Avoid references to both sexes or genders, either sex gender, or opposite sex gender. Instead, use the phrase all sexes genders, depending on context and what is being communicated. This isn't a style guide. This is an ideological enforcement guide. And I'm thinking it's less of a guide than, you better do this. When writing speeches or addressing formal audiences, use inclusive, gender-neutral language such as, welcome to all our guests or distinguished guests. Avoid addressing a crowd as ladies and gentlemen. But that's what they actually are, though. I tell you, Western civilization is genuinely reaching the heights of absurdity with this stuff. Here's from Medical News Today. What are some different types of gender identity? How about gender outlaw? A person who identifies as a gender outlaw, it sounds pretty cool, I got to admit, refuses to allow society's definition of male or female to define them. You know who's never thought about being a gender outlaw? Your pet. And there's really nothing special about this. This is like David Bowie 50 years ago. A person who identifies as omnigender experiences and possesses all genders. This is just the height of narcissism. And considering there seems to be 1,000 new genders every single day, it'd be pretty hard to keep up with. I feel like the omnigender people would be the least popular people at the gender activist parties, because I'm sure they have gender activist parties. You know, everybody shows up with some new gender they made up that they're sure nobody's got because they want to be unique. And the omnigender guy's like, oh, tree gender, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, I'm tree gender too. I'm all of them. You know that's going to piss them off. How about polygender and pangender? People who identify as polygender or pangender experience and display parts of multiple genders. Well, you can call that polygender or pangender, or you can just call it attention whore. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.